Do 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 do. Welcome to the podcast. Wee! Wow!
All right, and we're going. I'm Matt Bonta.
I am Dakota Kimes.
This is sequel podcast, I think. Sequel something.
Sequel. We're here.
Something
I guess.
podcast, yes. So you're telling me your competition's going out of business?
Yeah, right down the street from us. Reno Mountain Sports is going out of business.
And you're saying what they've been in business for 50 years?
Like something close to that, in the 40s.
What about Bobo's?
How
old are they?
I don't know.
Your points are suddenly losing validity. Unless you
Yeah.
can give me some facts, dude.
I think 45 years for Bobo's.
45.
Right around there.
Awesome possum.
Yeah.
So about the same then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just kind of scary for me.
Oh, do you think you're next?
Yeah.
Really?
Realistically, we
Well, no,
just
if
laid
they,
off.
If they go out, then
Okay.
doesn't that bring business over to you?
There were 4 people that worked with me in the shop,
Okay.
and they laid 2 of them off
2 of them?
at my work.
But like I said, with the other place going out of business, isn't that going to bring bring business over to you guys?
It is not, because they're liquidating everything, and they're offering stuff that we can't. Like we cannot. Do
Okay,
that.
well, once they're all fucking over and done with, though, shouldn't that open some doors up for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm looking at the fact that it's so tight right now that they're cutting employees. Like, hey, you don't work here anymore, man, until we get snow.
Right.
We'll call you when we do.
Oh, is that what's going on? So it's a
That's what happened.
furlough?
That already happened.
So it's a temporary layoff.
Yes, they were laid off, not fired.
Yeah, it's a furlough.
Oh, I don't know.
Furlough is laid off for the time being, but we'll bring you back when we have the work.
Yes.
Opposed to you're gone.
Yeah.
You can try again later. Or somewhere else.
I don't know. I just think that
Well, now is the time. I mean, especially for you guys. But you've worked through the summer and everything when there's no fucking snow.
yeah.
Do you honestly fear that your job is on the line?
I'm also just kind of a paranoid person. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't like to be caught off guard if I can.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you there, dude.
And it gets to the point where it like plagues me. Does that make any
Yeah,
sense?
no,
It's not like,
yeah.
oh, yep, sorted that out, and like, I can forget about that, like, store that in my personal memory. I dread over things sometimes.
About this same time every year at JCPenney's, I always thought, like, am I...
But that's another thing. Like, I've been there 5 years, and I've had this happen where they lay everybody off. I've had this happen
every year.
every year. Realistically, sometimes it doesn't ever get to the point where like we got to lay people off. Sometimes they'll just cut hours for a couple weeks here and there for employees that aren't me.
Lower senior.
Yeah,
Lower seniority.
it's even when my first year there,
You weren't getting cut hours?
I outworked the guy that I showed up to work with.
Okay.
They were like, "Hey, Dylan, sorry, man, you're gonna have to."
Well, you know, a good management team will see that. They'll know. You know, it's like he's obviously a hard worker. We'll keep him doing what he's doing and get rid of the slackers or the people less awesome.
I don't know. It makes me uneasy about the whole thing.
Absolutely. Even if you know that everything's been fine every other year, it's still, yeah, definitely will weigh heavy on your mind. It's just that time of year, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Holidays are over with. Shit slows down. I mean, obviously your job, you know, if it started snowing like today or whatever.
Dude, if it just started puking up there, just snow gods were.
So like it snows all night tonight, and then it's bright and sunny tomorrow, and then the next day, like it just starts snowing overnight, and then it's bright and sunny.
Or
and
if
you
it
got
just,
some nice powder up there.
or if it just snowed for like 2 weeks straight, just.
So, well, I mean, wouldn't it be ideal to be like clear, awesome blue skies, but you just have all that snow from the night before. Wouldn't that be a better situation than just constant snow?
Have you ever ridden? Never mind. Okay. For me, the best days that you could ever possibly have snowboarding, the only thing better than it just snowed a whole bunch and the skies are blue and gorgeous, because I don't know, on storm days when there's low to no wind and there's just snowflakes falling, everything gets quiet. And
well, what about like visibility?
I've been well, you deal with that. You ride trees, because trees you can see they're
freaking me out here,
they're
man.
very definitively outlined. Like, that is a tree. But if you go out and you're in this big wide open area where there's nothing close to you, you can't delineate between what's the ground and what's the sky. That's the problem with visibility. For people who are beginners, like in flat light, it's like, fuck, because you don't know really where the ground is. Once, especially
so like if it's gonna slope down, I guess. Is that what you're talking about? Because
you
can't
can
see,
you
like,
can
here's
see
the white
that,
and there's the blue.
You can see that in the trees. Boop, 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 boop. That's where the ground at. It's just like a stick. That's where the ground's at, right here. Doot, 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 doot. It's amazing. And
you're just making me very
I've
anxious and nauseous.
I've been on days where it's snowing so hard and there is no wind and there's snowflakes falling the size of golf balls. And you go take your run, go back to the top, ride the chairlift back up, ride back down, and where you turn off into the trees, you can't see your tracks anymore because it snowed that much.
Yeah.
Oh.
Falls right on it.
It never... Oh, God. That is the best.
Well, once it snows again, Dakota...
If I could do that every day for the rest of my life, that would be fabulous. Just travel all over the world like, oh, it's snowing in Austria. That's where it's going.
So chase the snow then?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Alaska, do they have good skiing and snowboarding up there?
Mm-hmm. One of my dreams is to go heli skiing.
So jumping off of a helicopter?
No. You ride it to the top, you get off, then strap in, and then ride down.
It's kind of like tubing, where you got to take a car, and you got a car waiting for you when you get to the end.
Yeah, kind of. But the car moves back down to the bottom.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, all right.
All right, we need to take 2 choppers today. We'll leave one here. Everyone get in the other one. We'll go up there.
Imagine
being
one of the helicopter pilots that was an avid skier, and you just got to like drop these dudes off and watch them just rip down.
When you would rather be doing that.
Yeah. Nah. I'm going to fly my lame helicopter. That would suck.
That's funny. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what they do in Alaska? Is heli skiing? Heliboarding?
I guess there's a couple of resorts, like really good resorts. Alyeska, I guess, is a good one that's up there. Mm-hmm. But if you want to go to like real mountains, real shit.
Oh God. It just sounds so terrible.
It is. See, I don't know. I've gotten to the point on a snowboard where I don't have to think about like, oh fuck, like things are instinctual at this point.
Absolutely.
So it's more of a matter of expression, and I have the skills to be able to maneuver that kind of terrain, and that I'm confident that I can do it without hurting myself. So... And I've been snowboarding since I was 8 years old. I'm 25. Like, dude.
Have you been snowboarding since you were 8?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And so I have the skills. So
I've been watching movies since I was 8.
Yeah,
fuck you,
legit. But so it's just more of a matter of going. I like
finding that next awesome, I guess, trail or slope or. Looking forward to that next.
For me, I can even ride the same run over and over again. I like getting to the point where you're going so fast.
You're a thrill seeker, dude.
I just like the feeling of getting your mind absolutely in the moment, because you don't have time to think about what's going on in the world, or like when you drive back down off that hill, those things are waiting for you. But when in that moment, when you're doing that and you have to be on point. You have to know what's going on and where you're going to be going and what's going on in front of you. That moment is so awesome. It's like everything gets quiet. Everything. And the only things that matter are right now.
Dakota's making hand motions.
I get like goosebumps just talking about it.
That's not the only thing you get goosebumps from. Donnie Darko.
Oh god, dude. Frank the Rabbit. No. Fuck Frank the Rabbit. And whoever that actor was, fuck him. I hope that he didn't work in Hollywood again. I hope he went into gay porn and he was a straight guy.
If it was the same guy that
terrible
always
for
wore,
him.
if it's the same guy that always wore the costume,
Yeah.
like even when it was over his head, that guy's in a bunch of stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Let's see. Let's look him up since we've got the Intron.
Intranet.
This is good. I like doing this back and forth, Dakota.
Totally.
I like just hanging out and talking.
Me too.
Since I kicked your ass at
Jenna Malone. Is that Carl Malone's daughter? Just Carl Malone.
James Duvall.
Fuck you, James Duvall.
He's been in a bunch of shit. Specifically these movies.
Oh, wait. Independence Day.
He's the son. He's Miguel.
What about Gone in 60 Seconds? Is he one of the cronies?
Yeah, he's one of the
crime
guy
crony.
that can order pizzas like none other. If you remember that line.
I do not.
Oh, well, I do. He plays Fred. Let's see. What have you seen here? Did you see Oblivion? Morgan Freeman, Tom Cruise? I think. No, never mind. 2011? Yeah, there's no way that's the same movie. God, I'll look at this bunch of just weird shit.
Kaboom, the Messiah.
Yeah, this is some random fucking movies here. A bunch of short films. The Iron Man. I don't even want to know. Oh, he was in May. Did you see May? With the weirdo girl that makes she starts taking body parts and making a doll.
No.
She takes his arms. Yep, Fred. Gone in 60 Seconds. Go? Did you see Go?
No.
God. SLC Punk, I guess he was in. But see, now all these, it's just less and less. So Independence Day. Some movie called Totally Fucked Up and Mod Fuck Explosion. An Ambush of Ghosts. Well, he's in stuff. He's been around, okay? I've seen him in a few things.
Frank the Rabbit, you bastard.
And how much you love that movie. I haven't seen it in a while. I should probably watch it again. You want to watch it?
Nah, not really.
Not this close to bedtime?
No.
Do you work tomorrow?
Yes. I don't work till noon, though.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
See, tomorrow's my last Friday off, and then next week my new days start. Monday, Tuesday. So
you got a short week?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So 2 days off, or 2 days of work, and then I'm off again. So
Hell yeah.
Saturday, Sunday. I hate it, but whatever. So.
Wait, you go back to Saturday, Sunday?
No. I work on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, you hate working on the weekends?
Yes, I hate working on the weekends. I'd rather have the weekends off.
Why?
It's because that's the norm, I guess. That's what I've done. That's what I've always done. It's hard for me to get out of not repetition, but like repetition. You get a routine. It's hard for me to get out of routine.
you get a...
I was going to say, you get up, you go to work, you come back, you make dinner, you eat it, you go to bed. It's hard for me to get out of routine. So, I mean, and that's just part of my OCD and my introvertedness. I got to deal with that. But, life's changing for me now anyways.
What do you mean?
Oh, well, just ever since me and Melissa separated and everything, I've had to adjust to a new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Especially since moving back. This is the first time I ever lived by myself.
You alright? I mean, like...
No, it blows, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I hate being by myself so much. And I hate feeling like I'm starting over at 27, 28.
That makes sense.
Because me and Melissa were together for 8 years. And then suddenly it's like, oh, well, never mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since I wanted, like, a family and kids and everything. And we had a house. and then we go to fucking Denver, and it all goes to shit. But you and Nicole are always making up and breaking up like every other week.
It's true.
Pisses me off.
Why?
Because, like, I will text one of you, and then you're like, oh, we're not going out anymore. We broke up. And it's like, oh, that was awkward. And then the next day I see you guys together. Like it was nothing. It's like, oh, okay, I guess.
It's never like it was nothing.
Well, obviously it's not that simple, but
for me,
me as the observer on the outside, it's like, oh, well, okay, sure.
Totally. That makes sense.
You know, I mean, like
well,
at the zombie crawl, I texted Nicole and I was like, are you guys going to be there? And she's like, oh, me and Dakota aren't dating anymore. And then you guys show up at my Halloween party together 2 days later.
Yep. I don't know.
I'm just gonna say this. I like you guys together. Okay?
Alright.
I'm gonna put a period on that one.
I love Nicole. And the last 2 times that we've broken up, and that's been the most frequent last 2 times.
So, like, the space between wasn't as long as what you're saying?
It was like 3 months apart.
Okay.
She, like, freaked out about something and broke up with me. And then the second time, I was like, no, like, because the first time I explained to her, like, you don't say that to me. You don't get to say that to me. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You can call me an asshole. You can say whatever else. But
Right.
if you say, I'm done with this.
Like, randomly?
No, like, I clarified both times. Do you mean you're breaking up with me? Yes, fuck you.
Oh, God.
Dude, she got way livid.
Okay.
And we just have the understanding that if you ever say that to me again, if I will even do the courtesy of, I'm going to clarify this. This is what you're saying to me.
Yes. Let's just make this perfectly clear.
And if you say yes, then I don't do that to you. You don't get to do that to me.
Right.
Because that messes with your security in the relationship. That's just jerking you around to try and get a reaction out of you.
Yeah, like, when is this going to happen again? Kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And at this point, if it ever does, ever again, I'm done.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like you guys together.
She's a great woman.
I think so.
I lucked out.
You know what? I always hated hearing that phrase, lucked out. Because I always think of it as being the opposite of what it means. Because it sounds like you're lucking out of something opposed to lucking into something. Does that make sense? Like, it sounds like something is going away opposed to gaining
For me,
something.
I look at it like that phrase means... I'm trying to think of how to explain this.
Thinking.
What phrase is it again?
Lucked out.
Lucked out.
Yes.
Oh, like you've used all of your luck
Okay.
in that. Like you're that lucky. I lucked out. Like I was that lucky.
No.
No?
Dude, no.
I don't know.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what you just said. So, like, you ran out of luck.
You've used your luck.
You've used your luck up.
Like you lucked out. All right.
Fuck you, dude.
I'm failing at defining this. So obviously I had no point to make whatsoever. Schooled.
Like, no, I get it. I get the phrase lucked out. Okay, you got lucky in something, but for me, it always sounded like, you know, oh, I lucked out. Maybe I'll try again later, next time or something. Better luck
That's
next
struck
time.
out.
No. Yeah, but for me, because it's the out part of that.
Whatever. Just accept social conventions, sir.
I will. But this is the first time I've ever been able to talk about it.
Don't question me.
I've got a forum to talk about it, which is nice because sometimes you just have conversations and they just kind of go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here we get to talk about this and it can last. So
Forever.
forever, or until
Forever.
Skynet blows up.
Don't talk about that.
Don't talk about Skynet.
First rule about Skynet, you don't talk about Skynet.
Also known as Google, apparently.
Also known as Fight Club.
Also known as Anonymous.
Your mominous. What's up?
So what else is going on, Dakota? What have you been up to lately?
Looking for a car.
Still haven't found it? Did you?
No.
You got your loan?
I got my loan, and I'm looking for.
So you can just sit on that until you use it, or like how does that work? So you get the loan.
So I get pre-approved for the loan, and then all we do is, hey, I got this car here at this place. It's this VIN number. This year, blah 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 blah. I give them all the stats, and then hang up the phone. They call me back like 15, 20 minutes later. Yeah, go ahead.
So like even if, so you said you were gonna go to like a private party. So like even if like I was selling a car.
Well, then what I would do is I would have to front money for like a retainer on the car, essentially.
To me?
If you were selling me a car,
yeah,
I would hand you X amount of dollars. You would sign me over a bill of sale, retain the title. So I have confirmation that money had exchanged hands in the bill of sale.
So like if you gave me $20,
it would be more than that, but then I would show up the next day
to me,
to you, after going to the bank and getting the money. Like, hey,
the rest of the money.
Yeah, the money from the loan.
So you would need your own money.
Yes.
To start out with.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what's the other situation you were talking about where you call the bank at a dealership?
Yeah.
So, but you wanted to go to a private party, didn't you?
I ended up going and looking at dealerships. Dude, I spent all day Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, doing that. Ugh. I went from Kitsky and Mill, okay, all the way down to Reno Tahoe Auto Group on the other side. I went to Jones West Ford also on the other side of Moana on Kitsky. And I would like park my car, and I would park on one side of a stoplight. And I'm walking to that next stoplight. All of them.
Turn.
And then all of them go back to the car, next stoplight.
That
Park.
Sounds terrible.
Dealing with schmoozy, greasy.
Fuckers.
Oh, dude, one guy had a grill. He had a grill.
Was it a white dude?
Yes.
It was a white dude?
White dude with like a
gold?
Like a weird mullet comb back thing and a grill.
Tacky. Gauche.
His name was like Remy or something like that. Jan Remy. He had like this like thin lip mustache.
So like stereotypical kind of car salesman.
Yeah.
So did you find anything that you wanted?
I am going to try and hold out. I believe the car that I'm going to buy is a Honda Element. I fucking love those things.
What about
they are just a trip, dude.
Like California. Can you go to California?
I can go to California.
So your loan is good out of state?
Yes.
Put that away.
What do you mean my money's not good?
Well, I don't know. It might, it might just be like you got to buy in Nevada or go to California and get the loan instead.
No.
So why don't you?
Because they would just retain, as long as the title goes to the financial institution that's paying the loan. If I go and do a if I go and do a dealership over there, then that's fine. I don't have to do anything. I don't know if I have to pick up the money from a branch
in
California to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could like get it here, go drive, get the car.
Right.
I don't see why not.
Well, you should check out Sacramento.
I just fucking hate Sacramento, dude.
I
hate going to Sacramento for any reason.
Oh, man. I used to love fucking taking the road trips down there and hitting up the comic book shops.
See,
checking out the sites.
If I had like hey, I'm going to go do this in Sacramento. But I just end up like going to Old Town Sacramento. That's the only thing that I ever do there because that's the only thing that I know where it's at. And I'm not a huge fan of that.
It's okay.
And then if you go anywhere else in like the direct vicinity around that, it's fucking weird. There's like weird people.
Sure, downtown Sacramento, sure, yeah.
Fuck, dude. I don't know.
I went to a sci-fi horror convention out there once.
See, like having something to go and do in Sacramento is cool. I went to a concert. I totally forget who I saw in Sacramento. I went to the arena.
I think I went to Ozfest out there.
It wasn't Ozfest because it was in Arco Arena.
I'm not sure if that was the arena, but there is an arena that I went to for Ozfest. The year was free, and Ozzy was there too.
Hell yeah!
It was pretty awesome, and it was Lamb of God, Static X, Lordy, and I'm not sure if there's another band.
Lordy?
Lordy, you know who that is?
Are they a metal band?
Yeah, but they like they're kind of like Gwar.
Oh, where their music's not very good, but they do try real hard.
I can't believe you don't know who Lordy is. I mean, I really don't know who they are, but let's go to this picture. Like they dress up and shit. There was one song that I really liked. That came on the sampler. This one. This was like the only song that I liked.
Bringing
back the balls to rock. You like it? It's not much yet. It's so fucking weird. And they'd shoot off fireworks and shit, and he's walking around on stage with the big ass heels, like fucking Kiss. I really like this song.
It's cool.
I mean, I didn't even really like Lamb of God when they played.
I'm not a huge Lamb of God guy.
Yeah, no, because that was like the headliner and then Ozzy. They played right before Ozzy, and everybody was stoked about Lamb of God, and I didn't really get into it. Didn't really understand what they were singing, you know, very distorted what they sang and shit. But that's like a metal band, right?
Yeah.
Lamb of God.
Oh yeah.
I would have loved to have been there when like either Rob Zombie was on the main stage or Slipknot. You know what a huge Slipknot fan I am. I've listened to a lot of Slipknot lately.
Do you have the song "The Blister Exists"?
Yeah, I've got all of them.
That is my favorite, like
metal.
That's one of my favorite songs to snowboard to, and it's one of my favorite songs, like metal songs ever. Definitely top 5 favorite songs ever.
This one right here.
Yeah.
See, I love all the typical Slipknot songs, you know. I love Surfacing. I love Wait and Bleed.
Wait and Bleed is good.
Spit It Out's okay.
Spit It Out, I like. Left Behind, I like Left Behind.
See, I don't like any, like, everybody loves, like, Heretic Anthem. I'm not a big fan.
No.
And see,
do you like Left Behind?
It doesn't sound familiar, so probably not. Like, yeah, like none of these.
I feel it all slipping away.
Yeah, actually, I do like that song. Oh. You're right. I do like that one. I love Psychosocial.
Not a huge Psychosocial
I love
guy.
Psychosocial. So it's heavy, man. For me, it's heavy.
Clavicular.
Dead Memories, of course, we used in the movie. I like Dead Memories. I love Snuff. I think Snuff is an amazing song. Because it's the one like slow song. I think there's another one too. I like Duality. I recently just got into Duality as of today. Vermilion's pretty good.
Vermilion is really good.
And Before I Forget, of course.
Before I Forget is also very good.
So like all of their singles I like, and then maybe a couple that aren't. And yesterday I actually bought on my phone like the Best Of album, so that I have it on my phone. And I also bought something that I will have for my kids when I get them one day. I'll show you. So this is what I bought, just so it was on my phone.
Antennas of Hell.
It was this. I didn't get the disc 2 portion of it, but I got all these, so it's just kind of like a best of.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I got... Damn it. Well, it's lullabies, so... This. Lullaby versions of Slipknot.
Really?
Yeah, so I bought the actual version. It's not any... there's no lyrics to it. It's just like the songs. So it's like all these songs, but it's very... like xylophone type. Ding, ding, ding. And it's really hard to tell that, like, oh, that's Wait and Bleed. That's definitely Wait and Bleed. Yes, I got my phone on me. Okay. So let me play a little bit of it for you. Okay, so you've got it. So you know what it is. Let's see if you can. Wait and Bleed. All right. So ready to have your mind blown?
Mind Kerblonskied.
So it's probably slower too, also, right?
Yeah.
You getting any Wait and Bleed out of that? Left Behind. Here you go. Maybe you'll know this one better. No. Well, anyways, when I have kids, I'm gonna have them fucking listening to this when they're babies, when they're newborns. So they'll be listening to Slipknot when they're fucking falling asleep in their cribs. Is it demonic? I don't think so. I love fucking Slipknot, and hopefully my kids will love it too.
I'm just gonna blare death metal in the car.
God, Jesus Christ.
You don't like it? Shut your mouth!
I've been listening to a lot of Slipknot. It helps me when I'm down. Helps me get past being down. It's so metal.
Totally metal, dude.
Not like Anthrax, which I should probably listen to.
Oh,
I know
Madhouse by Anthrax. I love that
Madhouse.
song.
This one? Well, like, what is it? Among the Living? Among the Living is The Stand. Stephen King's The Stand.
Oh, really?
I think. Or no. What's the song where it's like, spreading the disease? Is that Among the Living?
I don't know.
And then I think I Am the Law is Judge Dredd.
They write songs about Stephen King books?
Just about shit that they love, like comic books and movies.
Really?
Yeah. So I Am the Law is Judge Dredd, I believe. One of them is Judge Dredd, and I think it's I Am the Law, which makes sense. And then Among the Living, one of them is The Stand. Because they talk about Captain Trips and, shit like that. Did you see that movie Dredd?
Yeah.
The new one, not the Stallone one?
I think so. I don't think I liked it very much.
Where they're in the building and they're going all the way to the top to get the chick.
And that's the one where they have like the crazy powerful drug that this is like the den house that these people have, and I'm fucking going in there and I'm gonna shoot the place up.
You obviously didn't like that movie.
Yeah, dude, it was stupid.
I thought it was awesome. You're just a piece of shit. It's
Not the first time I've been told that.
I saw that in theaters back in Denver. I thought it was pretty good. I think I saw it in 3D too. I snuck into it.
For me, I just don't like the overly. It's just too cliche.
Super violent, or
it's not even that it's super violent, but it's just too cliche.
There were a lot of obvious things in it, but I mean, things are cliche for a reason.
I don't know.
Like they worked. Maybe like for you, it's old and you've seen it before and you want something new. But
it's not even that. It's just like certain. I know you're right. It's just me. There are just certain things that I don't like. And like I don't know. I think I like watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and it's meant to be that same kind of like machismo thing.
Did you watch The Last Stand with John
No.
Knoxville? It's on Netflix now.
Really?
Yes.
Is it good?
Well, it's full of cliches and everything. You know, he's like the
But
old sheriff.
I like Walking Tall
Yeah,
with The Rock. That's
yeah.
an awesome movie.
Absolutely.
I like-
Absolutely.
Any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that I've ever seen, I liked.
Good.
They're good.
Well, you should watch The Last Stand. It's on Netflix
With the
now.
exception of Running Man. I didn't like Running
Only because of the book.
Because
I know.
How dare you?
You gotta take yourself out of it, though. You gotta take yourself out of the book mindset when watching that movie. I know it's hard, and it
Yeah.
probably never will do anything for you because of it, but I saw the movie before I read the book, and I was just watching it because I was like, oh, there's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and he's doing Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. And it's like, you know, years later when I started reading Stephen King and getting older and everything, I was like, hey, there's this book called The Running Man. Is it? And then I'm watching The Running Man. It's like based on the novel by Richard Bachman, and I'm like, oh shit, that's the Stephen King book. Absolutely. There you go, Dakota.
What is that?
It's a coin. Next time you're down in Virginia City,
All Night Check.
$3.
The best screw in town. What? Where is this to?
I think it's a coin from like the Old West days up in Virginia City. I think it was a souvenir from up there recently. I'm not sure, you know, how old it is, but
Stella's Saloon. I'm gonna go to a whorehouse and try and change this in. Hey.
they're like inflation, dude. We have $100 chips now, and they're not metal. This is a 90-day chip. You know, I was thinking about that on The Simpsons. I never got it before, but Barney comes out of an AA meeting and goes to the bar, and he's like, hey, can I use this free drink chip? And he's like, this is a, you know, like a 60-second chip or something like that, you know, from being sober for that long. I now finally get that joke, because I didn't know that about people getting chips and shit from AA and all those meetings and everything.
I went to one AA meeting. It wasn't for me.
No?
No.
Wasn't going to do anything for you?
Yeah.
Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Yes. I'm in the second season right now.
I just finished everything they have, and they've got everything but the last 8 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. So I had my mom,
Fuckers.
my brother up in Oregon, he bought the last season, so I had my mom mail it out to me, so I'll be able to finish it. I've been... That's what I've been doing. You asked me what I've been doing. I've been fucking sitting down on my ass watching Breaking Bad for the last 2 weeks.
Dude, Breaking Bad is such a good show, though. Oh.
This last season was pretty good. Some
Really?
fucked up. Yeah, Walter gets so fucked up. He does some fucked up shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, like, I've only seen the first season.
Yeah, the first 7 episodes, 6 or 7 episodes, I believe.
And I've watched, like, half of the... I've gotten to the point where... What's his name? His assistant. Jesse, like, just got the car like mine.
Oh, okay, he brought that red one?
Yeah.
And shit. He's like, are you serious?
How much for that? Are you serious? But, yeah, he just got that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, you can see that Walter is, like, loved that thrill of, like, being a badass.
Yes.
When he went and he had that stuff that he threw down on the ground and it exploded
Fuck
in
yes.
Tuco's, like,
Drunk
lair
man.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. And he was just like, mad respect, Holmes, or said, like, something like that.
Yeah. Is he,
That
have
dude
they
was
stopped?
nuts.
Like, have they stopped? Because, like, at a certain point, he stops. I think when he finds out... Oh, I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
Like, yeah, no, they had to have stopped, right? Because he buys the car.
He was
and
in the hospital. Walt was in the hospital when they got back from Tuco's. And I just got to the part where...
Did Tuco kidnap them?
Yeah, That was the end of... No,
Season
that was
one?
in the second season, right?
It was either the end of season 1, so where that was
Where his brother-in-law
that was the first
comes
episode.
and-
Yeah, brother-in-law, he has the shootout, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and so they take him to the
So
hospital.
now
and
he's
like,
out of the hospital, and something happened with the money, and he has no more, and he's getting ready to go back and cook again.
Okay, so he has given up. They have stopped, right?
They had stopped,
They had
and
stopped.
now they're getting started again.
Yeah, because there was a point that I was watching that where he was like I think he was at the school or something, and he was just like thinking about it and shit, and he was just getting all nostalgic. And I told this to a friend, like, I'm watching him, and he's like, it's not about the drugs, it's
Yeah.
about like he loved doing that because he was good at it. His life was at a dead end because he was at the school and he gave up this career, which you
Yeah.
find out about later on down the road exactly what the situation is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And why he turned down like that awesome job from his friend, I guess?
Yeah. They explain all that later. Do you want me to tell
okay.
you what it is?
No.
Okay, it's really simple. I mean, it's not like anything. It's just, but he when he talks about it, he's proven a point to Jesse. But yeah, no, like, so he'd given up all that, and he just kind of is like a teacher. But then he's like, I can do this, and I'm really fucking good at it. I'm like the best, and it's like, that's how I feel with movies, It's like, everything else, my regular job and everything, I do that. I watch movies, but like, I get really into like writing, and when we're out there, and we're making movies,
Yeah.
I love doing that. And it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, like you when you go snowboarding. Like just the way you were talking about it earlier, dude. There's passion there. You can hear it in your voice. You can see it in just the way your head kind of, your eyes glaze over and your head goes there. You're there.
That makes sense.
But yeah, Breaking Bad's an awesome show.
I digress.
I digress. Shit gets so fucked up. Like, you really got to get past that second season, because once you hit like right near like probably the end of season 2, and it goes, you just want to keep watching it.
Yeah.
Shit gets really fucked up. It's like every 2 episodes, every other episode, something new is happening to where you want to know what the fuck's gonna happen next. And then of course the entire show takes place over the period of, so from the first episode all the way up until like the first episode of season 5, that's all takes place in 1 year.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Because
Wait. So the beginning of the last season, season 5 is the last season, right?
season 5 is the last season.
And they put everything but the last 8 out. The last 8 episodes of the season.
The first 8, the first 8 episodes. Well, because when they aired it, I guess.
Wait, the last 8 episodes?
No, the first 8 episodes of season 5 are what's on there.
And there's 8 more.
There's 8 more that aren't on there yet.
Oh, okay.
But I'll have it whenever you get to that point, so I let you borrow that shit. Because it's really good, and Gus hasn't shown up in the show yet, has he? Have you seen the episode with the lawyer?
No.
You haven't seen the episode with the lawyer yet?
Where they get a lawyer?
Yeah. Because Badger gets arrested? No?
I don't think so.
For me, that was the episode that was like my favorite episode, and then it just gets better from that point on. Like, it's an awesome show to begin with.
That might be the next one that I'm gonna watch.
Probably. It's real close in the middle there of season 2. You watching it on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Archer. Have you watched that?
Archer. I've seen the first season.
That
Okay.
show is hilarious. Dude.
Let's see. Hank tries to pull himself together after his encounter with Tuco. Meanwhile, Jesse assembles a crew to get more product on the street.
Yeah.
Seen that one?
Yeah.
As Jesse pursues the addicts who stole Skinny Pete's drug supply. Have you
Yep.
seen that one with the fucking
Yeah.
the druggies and the fucking, and they got the little kid?
The little kid.
So you haven't seen that episode then?
No. Jesse's rich.
Not that one. Better Call Saul. So you're not at this episode yet. Badger gets arrested. So you're probably on this episode then. So Skinny Pete, that bitch, fucking took off running, saying there was the cops and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this next episode, he goes and deals with those two.
Jesse does?
Yeah,
Does Jesse become a badass? Or is he always kind of like a little punk bitch?
He's always kind of like a little punk bitch, but it's because he's got morals despite the fact that he's like a meth head and a drug dealer and a cook. But he's got these morals, like him and Walt, like when they start, they're kind of like this. And Jesse's like the bad guy, and Walt's kind of like the clean-cut guy. And they start to progressively start switching to the other person's role as the show progresses. So Jesse starts trying to become a better person, but he's still always morally ambiguous. But he's got more morals, and then Walt starts losing his morals. His life just gets fucked. Like, Jesse's got nothing to lose, but Walt essentially has nothing to lose because he's got cancer. But then at a certain point, he just starts losing everything, and then he really has nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Tell me one thing.
Yes.
Does he ever smoke meth?
Walt? Not yet. I doubt it.
Okay.
Up to season 5, 8 episodes into that, he hasn't smoked meth.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because I'm always wondering if, like, because he's, like, got cancer, it's like, why doesn't he smoke some pot and shit?
Yeah, just like, whatever, dude. If you've said fuck it on everything else, why not?
The shit that he does do, though.
Really?
It blows your fucking mind, because it's so good. Like, season 4 is amazing. Season 4 is probably the best season. Season 5's got a lot of good action-packed stuff at the beginning, those first 8 episodes.
Yeah.
But, and his wife is such a fucking bitch, dude.
Dude, I hate her. She's so naggy and irritating.
She gets worse and worse. It blows the way she gets.
Do they show her having the baby and everything?
Yeah.
Like, when does that occur? When is that over with?
I don't know, because it's not very, like, it's like, who cares with everything else that's going on? It just kind of happens. Like, oh, she has the baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it happens when it happens, and then they just have a kid, and the kid's there.
I like her sister, though.
She's a kleptomaniac. Have you gotten to that point yet?
Yeah.
Because they have the baby shower then, right?
Yeah. And she goes to return the tiara.
And like, you're under arrest for stealing this.
This item is stolen. Why would you bring it back?
She's weird, too, and fucking the brother-in-law pisses me off at times, too.
He's just such, like...
He's that asshole guy.
Yeah.
Super into himself.
Yeah, crazy narcissistic. And, like, oh, hide my emotion. Nope, not feeling anything over here. Don't got any of those. Like, I hate people like that. It's like, dude, you have feelings. They're just things that you have. Everybody has them.
Absolutely. That's cool that you're watching it, so we'll have to catch up when you get through another season. Next podcast,
Hell yeah.
we'll talk about what you got into. That's cool. Yeah, no, I just started watching it because when I went up to Oregon, like I said, they had bought the 5th season because they were like, well, what the fuck happens next? So they all watched, and I was like, well, I guess I'm finally going to have to sit down and watch it. And I love it. I think it's awesome. They rob a train in season 5.
What?
Yeah. And it's fucking cool. It's fucking cool. And it's not, like, implausible. They don't rob it of money or anything like that. They just need more chemicals. And the shipping this chemical.
Does he, like, stay with the blue stuff now?
Because
Does he stay making the blue stuff?
Yeah. Did they steal that barrel? Did you see him steal that barrel?
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. They're, like, carrying it and shit.
The thermite on the door. And when the brother-in-law is watching it in the police
like,
station,
why didn't they bring a dolly? Why didn't they just roll the barrel? It's like, yeah, why didn't they? Because they fucking drop it, so they might as well just fucking roll it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they keep using that shit because because Badger gave him all those fucking sleeping pills, and he kept throwing them out.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, this is not it. This isn't it. Keeps throwing it out and shit, and then he fucking leaves him there in the desert. No, they stick to that. I mean, it's just the shit that that they go through. Yeah, you're definitely gonna want to sit down and fucking like your next day off or something. You might want to just fucking marathon it.
I might,
because it's once Gus enters the picture, that's when it really hits its stride.
So who is this Gus guy?
Well, because once they get the lawyer, they're just like, we're not reaching enough people, and the lawyer's like, well, I know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows this guy that's like a head distributor who's been doing it for 20 years. And so they get into bed with this guy. So you've got that to look forward to.
Hell yeah. Because I've been wondering, Tuco's the craziest idea of a crazy nuts lunatic drug dealer that you could ever picture. And that's the kind of guy that you don't want to ever meet ever anywhere.
Yeah.
Ever. How are you going to follow that? Who's going to be more of a villain than that guy?
Well, that guy was just a wild card.
When he just beat the shit out of his own friend.
Oh, yeah.
Over nothing.
Over nothing.
Well, he was... Over just hey, it was kind of a misunderstanding.
He was high and shit off of the crystal meth.
But he just beat his friend to death. And stood up and... Dude, I got goosebumps. He does this thing. He stands up and he's like, look at this. And he shows his friend... shows...
His knuckles
Walt
all fucked up.
Oh. And he makes his friend or his girlfriend's brother go and shove the dude under the car, and the thing shifted and got his arm, and then he just drove off. The guy just bled out.
And the dude, his brother-in-law, is fucking taking pictures of it and shit.
Yeah.
He thought it was all kinds of funny. And they thought that he got fucking killed by Tuco and not by accident. And it's on the TV and shit.
Yeah.
And they tried to poison him. And he switches the burritos.
With his dad.
Or his uncle. It's his uncle.
Oh.
Because he's progressively throughout. He shows up more too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, when they were in the police station and...
He didn't do anything.
Yeah. They're like, are you on the planet Mars? Are you on the planet Earth? Ding! It's was this man at your house?
And he didn't do anything.
And he just stared at him. I was like, dude, that guy's intense.
Yeah, no. And he plays a major role. You see him sparsely throughout, but he plays a major role. He does something good.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, you got plenty of shit. And, they show him in flashbacks where he's not all fucking loopy and everything, too.
Oh, okay. Good. Dude, that Tuco guy. Ugh.
Well, I mean, no one is as crazy as him. Definitely not, but definitely more intense. I kind of knew what was coming, with the next guy.
Yeah.
Because I had, read spoilers on, they had a top 10 list of... Oh, I'm not going to say what, so... that way it'll be
I
a
don't do
surprise
spoilers.
Too. Well, it wasn't anything like that. It was a top 10 list of something. I was like, okay, cool, interesting. I'll read these.
Yeah.
And then there's one for Breaking Bad, and I was like, okay. So I was waiting for that to happen. Yeah. So good show, Breaking Bad. Watch it, people.
Me gusta that.
Me gusta Breaking Bad. What else was I going to say about it? Oh, the cliffhanger that they fucking left me on with that episode 8, season 5. Fuck me in the ass, dude.
Really?
Oh my god. Because it was bound to fucking happen, dude. It was bound to happen. And it finally happens. And at the very end of that episode, I'm like, no! Mail, get here faster.
Hurry, mailman.
I've got 8 episodes left, and I want to know what happens because that fucking cliffhanger, dude. Oh my god, that fucking cliffhanger. And the cliffhanger at the end of season 2, I think, is also another fucked up thing.
Really?
Has he, so he moved into the apartment, right? With the gothic chick as the manager?
Yeah.
Have they started doing anything yet?
No.
Okay. So,
That
yeah.
was what just happened.
Okay, so once you
She's
get to the
hot.
end, you
Hot
like her?
gothic chick. Dude, there are some gothic chicks that are hot. There are some that are just like, bah, no.
Well, this season, the end of season 2, it's a corker. It's like, oh my
Now
god.
I want to watch the
It's
next
like,
episode.
Oh my god.
Damn it.
Well, you don't go into work until noon tomorrow.
I gotta get up and clean my kitchen. Cleaning.
Well, that last episode of season 2, if you've only got like 5 or 6 more episodes left, once you get to that one, the very end of that's a really, really good fucking cliffhanger too. Because you're like, what is going to happen? What is going on?
Who am I? I don't understand.
Oh, God, just thinking about it. Yeah, so she has the kid here pretty soon then. She hasn't had the kid yet?
No.
She has it really soon. Have they scheduled the C-section appointment? No, that hasn't happened yet. Okay. I mean, that's not like a big major spoiler.
Oh my god. Why did you have to have a cesarean? A scar.
Yeah, no, they scheduled a C-section and she ends up going into labor. I forget where she goes into labor at. Like I said, it's so insignificant that it's like whatever. Like he's off somewhere else. You know,
Cooking meth.
Cooking meth, something's fucked up or something like that.
Cooking some meth.
I actually bought some rock candy that they have on Amazon because they've got all this like Breaking Bad paraphernalia. But I bought this rock candy that looks like there's fucking shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because there's this scene in one of the movies that I wrote where they've got drugs in a suitcase, and I'm like, we can use the blue shit, and that'll be the drugs that the guy is doing. Why don't you read that script?
Dragos.
Those are some really fucked up scripts, dude.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, where are they?
Over on my jacket.
No, they're right here, right? They're not on your jacket.
Oh, never mind. On the coffee table.
On the coffee table.
By my jacket.
By your jacket. Oh, why did I... That's not number 2. God damn it, Dakota. This is not number 2.
What do you mean, God damn it, Dakota?
This one's number 3.
That's you, bud.
This one's number 2.
I did not have the pen.
That one's number 4. Okay. This was the one I showed you. You're barely in this first one. This fourth one is like it's like a card game scene. Like the last one. Some fucked up shit that I wrote here, dude. But this one's really funny. Well, here, read that first line at the bottom of yours. The one that says boob.
Oh. Is it just me, or is there a weird, awkward vibe flowing through the other room?
Boom. There you go. Sets the tone for the rest of the movie.
Awkward?
Alright, well, let's go over these real quick. So, Night Moves is about, it's New Year's Eve, and there's a guy they find this woman dead, and Jones is trying to figure it out. Like, he knows her, and he's trying to figure out how he knows her. And he's got a new partner, Detective Black, and they figure it out eventually. There's a slight something or other going on there. And this one, there's a stakeout going on. So Boop and Stone are in the other room looking at the monitors.
Uh-huh.
And then Black and Jones are trying to set up like this senator with like an underage child, but it's like an adult. She's like dressed up like they're saying that she's underage. And they've got drugs and shit. And that one resolves itself also. Now, Chicken Dinner was a script that I wrote a long-ass time ago that I was able to turn into the third script. And in this one, there's these two people that kidnap Jones. And that resolves itself, kind of. But that one continues directly into this one, which is mostly a dream sequence and flashbacks. And then a current scene with everyone but Jones and Cheese at the card table. Also, the flashback card game scene doesn't have Cheese in it, because Patrick is obviously not here. But I wrote it to where it's just me and Patrick.
Isn't he in Vegas?
He's going to go to Vegas.
When?
By the end of the month.
Ah.
Because he is broke. Broke like a joke.
Flatness McBrokeski.
Because he couldn't get a job. A job, if you will.
No job. No job. You don't stay here.
Alright, so let's close up this episode, Dakota, with some reading.
Reading.
I was going to do this for the first time tomorrow with Kelly, but since we're podcasting tonight, and I've got both these here, we'll do it today. We'll do the first one. But your episode probably won't air until after Kelly's, and I'll post Kelly's again.
Why?
Because this was an impromptu podcast.
Why?
You need to calm down. Alright, so, Dakota, and the listening audience, why I podcast is because I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith's Smodcast.
Smodding.
And I was like, I want to get together with friends and start talking.
Why not?
Why not? And so, what I have here is Kevin Smith's Shooting the Shit Best of Smodcast. So it's transcriptions of something that's online that you can listen to for free. And we are going to read the roles of Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier.
Fair enough.
So, we'll read the first few skits, a couple pages worth. And since I know you have trouble reading,
Get out of here.
I will read Kevin Smith's part, and you can read Scott Mosier's part. So
Mosier.
You'll read the S and M. I'll read the K and S.
S&M.
Alright, you got this? You ready?
Go for it, bro.
Alright, from Smodcast 1, Fisting Flipper, how the name Smodcast was created. Welcome to Smodcast, where I, Kevin Smith, and my good friend and producer, Scott Mosier, sit around and add to the detritus, or the wasteland, of podcasts that are out there. We thought about calling it yet another podcast, but Smodcast, which Mosier came up with, was good. Explain that title.
It's really clever. Your last name is Smith, my last name is Moser. And I took the first letter of our last names and then put them together. I took the P off the podcast.
Wow, I really thought more went into it than that. But you know what? It works. It's cute. It's a fun word to say. Smodcast.
It rolls off the tongue.
Like Zamboni. It's just fun to say.
Yeah.
That was kind of flat. Alright, from Smodcast 2, A Dubious Superpower, the Alanis Morissette mugging story. There was one time me and Alanis Morissette were working on Dogma, and it was one of our days off. It was a Saturday or Sunday. We worked 6 days. We worked 6-day weeks on that movie.
We did.
I guess it was a Sunday. Me and Alanis were just walking around bullshitting and whatnot, and just got further and further from the hotel to areas where probably it wasn't a good idea to be walking around after dark. And in moments like that, my fucking radar goes off. I'm one of those people who just suspects everybody wants to commit a crime if they're on the streets at night. White, black, Asian, I don't give a fuck. Everybody. If you're on the streets in a downtown area after dark, it isn't a well-lit area, and you're up side streets and shit, chances are, I feel, you're up to no good. So we're walking down one of those fucking streets, and I notice this dude across the street. There's nobody else. Dude, fuck, it's like 28 days later, where a man wakes up and he's walking across the bridge and nobody's there. It's fucking empty. Streetlights only. And there's a dude on the other side of the street. Shady-looking character, ratty-ass clothes, who crosses the fucking street to be on our side of the street. And immediately my fucking spider sense starts tingling. I have no fucking superpowers, Spidey starts tingling and he can fucking shoot some web and fucking punch somebody. My spider sense starts tingling and I'm like, I'm gonna have to offer to suck this guy's dick.
That's your superpower.
My superpower is like, I'll suck your dick if you let us go.
You'd have to do it well.
Oh yeah, I'm a master cocksucker. Let us live. That kind of thing. So I see this dude cross the street and he's walking directly toward us, making eye contact. We're on his fucking radar at that point. And she don't fucking notice because Alanis is a real up with people kind of person where everyone is inherently good.
She's not suspecting.
Oh, she's so not suspecting. I don't know how that girl has got so far in life without something horrible happening to her, because she just trusts everyone. And also, even if we were to get killed or something, Alanis would be the person sitting there going, well, it's probably our fault. Like, she would cognitively reframe the whole thing to be our fault, or society's fault, never like, this dude's killing us, it's his fault. It's everyone else's fault. Blame doesn't go where it belongs, because she just likes people. She trusts them. So the dude is coming at us, and Alanis is yammering away, and I'm kind of half in the conversation at that point, because the other half of me is focusing on the dude that's rapidly getting closer and closer, and the distance between us is shrinking. I'm just scared shitless, because I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm so not the fucking brave dude.
And you're not that confident about sucking his dick.
No, I can do an able-bodied job, a yeoman-like job, but I think he might still rob us anyway.
You don't know if you can save your life with your mouth?
No. And if I could suck a cock to save my life or her life, maybe mine, maybe if he's like, alright, that cocksucking was worth you getting a mild whoop ass, but I'm going to kill her. I'd be like, why didn't you ask her to suck your dick? She's a chick. Also, he didn't look like he was in the mood for a cocksucking anyway. He looked like he wanted something from us. You can tell. You get a vibe, man.
Yeah.
That dude had a vibe like he wanted something from us, and we were definitely the focus of his attention. He crossed the fucking street. So I'm like, oh my god, he's getting closer and closer, and she's talking. Finally, I'm like, do you see this? And she says, what? And I'm trying to talk about the dude without the dude noticing, because he's getting closer. And she's like, so? And I said, he's crossed the street to be on our side of the street. And she's like, what? Are you worried? She's Canadian, and there's no crime in Canada. She's not on the same page. But literally, I'm almost crying at this point. So she's sensing that something's wrong. I'm maybe a couple of inches shy of pissing my pants, because I'm like, what do? I'm not strong enough to whoop ass on this dude.
You're not like Muse.
Muse is the kind of guy that if someone started shit with him, Muse would throw down. There was this dude that came up to Muse in a bar and said, were you in that movie Clerks? And he was like, yeah. And the guy punches him in the face. Muse just turns around, grabs a pool stick, and starts beating on the motherfucker. And he's got some boys there, so they all jump in and start kicking this dude's ass. But even without his boys, Muse is, if you're going to hit me, I'm going to hit you back really, really hard. I'm so not that guy. If you hit me, I'm going to cry.
I'm going to cry on your fist.
Exactly. If anything, your fist will slip off my face based on the fucking Niagara Falls pouring from my eyes. I am such a pussy. And I'm like, I can't protect myself, let alone me and this fucking girl. And this girl's got like the biggest album on the fucking planet at that time. And I'm thinking, all the headlines are going to read, Alanis Morissette, friend, died because pussy don't do shit.
Man covered in tears and urine.
Shit, urine, and tears. Body found beside her. Heavyset gentleman did nothing. So I'm like, we're dead. I remember saying to her, this is fucked up. We're going to get hurt right now. I know it. And the dude smokes right up to us, man, and he says, hey. And I said, hello? And she's like, in a chirpy voice, hi! But she's that kind of person. And he said, I was wondering if you guys wanted to buy a magazine. You know? I feel like that this statement was the opening salvo to me going, huh?
I would love to buy a magazine.
Which one? Is it Boy's Life? Is it Highlights for Children? But was still kind of tight about it. I'm so ashamed to admit it, and I didn't immediately push Alanis into the dude and run away, but I did separate myself from her. I was in a fight-or-flight mode, and I was going to hope that she was going to run too, but I was a couple of steps away from her, you know? The fucking chivalry thing would have been me putting myself between her and harm's way, but I'm like, fuck it, she's a tough broad, she sings about blowing dudes and beers. I'm fucking running and hoping that she's smart enough, because she's a smart chick too, to run maybe in the other direction rather than us ganging up on the dude, because 2 against 1, and who knew if he had someone in the side alley or what, so I'm not at ease. But Alanis just goes with it, and she says, well, what won? The dude reaches into his fucking jacket, and at this point I'm like, here it comes, it's a knife, it's a gun, I don't know what it is, it's a rusty fucking razor, it's something bad, and the dude literally pulls out 3 magazines. And it's 3 magazines that he probably lifted off a newsstand, because it was Good Housekeeping and fucking Women's Wear Daily or something. We gave the dude $5, he gave us the magazines, and that was the end of it. And I could tell that if I had had any shot of getting together with Alanis Morissette, because this was prior to me getting together with Jen, really, if I had any shot with her, it probably went out the window that day.
It collapsed right there.
Because I think she might have sensed you were totally about to let me get attacked.
You were about to run from Good Housekeeping magazine.
Totally. It was horrifying. Well, that was it. Scott Mosier doesn't say a lot. Does she sing about blowing dudes?
I don't know.
Do you not listen to Alanis Morissette?
No. I'm not all into that whole, like, Lilith Fair
Here we go.
Palooza music. I don't know.
It's just music.
I think that I find feminism ironic.
Like the song that Alanis Morissette sings?
Well, isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
How do you find it ironic? I consider myself a feminist. Don't offend me. I'm just kidding.
Don't offend me. Don't laugh at my vagina.
Whoa. Being a feminist.
I'm kidding. But I think that there are gender roles for a reason. We are
Here we go.
inherently
Not a good
more
opening statement.
or less apt to handle tasks. Does that make any sense?
Yes. No, I totally agree.
There are, and I don't see anything wrong with adhering to gender roles. I think that adhering to gender roles and offering equal opportunity within that is very important. But
individual based.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, feminism kind of comes from the fact that there are things that women can do, but it's generally like a male-oriented setting.
I don't see anything wrong with having a male-oriented setting and a female-oriented setting.
Well, not oriented, but like a male majority and women minority. When I mean, and just thinking about it as it comes out of my mouth, I'm just thinking like it's not like, how do I put this? So like, if I were to go into, okay, so here's the thing that they always talk about. Okay, and I'm not going to be racist about it. So this works with feminism too, as well as racism, or sexism and racism. So you watch like basketball and you watch like hockey. Both of those, like basketball is a very black-oriented sport. Doesn't mean that it's
predominantly black.
Predominantly black, but it doesn't mean it's only black people. There are white people that play.
Yeah.
And same with hockey, it's predominantly white. And and it's not a matter of like it being racist. It's just a matter of, I don't want to say those people.
There are roles in society that certain people play, and I believe that stereotypes exist for a reason. The reason why the ideal black man is delinquent and is shady is because there are those people that exist. Does that make any sense?
No, it's very true.
For me, I'm not
it's
gonna.
It's like that whole George Zimmerman thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna assume that any black guy that I see is that, unless I have reason
exactly
to believe that.
Reason,
if you give me reason, if you want to act like the stereotypical black guy, I'm gonna think you're the stereotypical black guy. Absolutely. If you want to act like the stereotypical Mexican guy, if you want anything, I probably act like a stereotypical white guy, and I'm okay with that.
It's true. It's very true. So when I'm talking about like feminism, it's like, well, there aren't a lot of women in, say, like directing movies as there are men, and it's just a matter of there aren't a lot of women out there that want to be doing that. Yes,
because things of beauty and art, and the reason why men have been great artists forever, is because our brain works better with stuff like that.
Or in the way you're raised. So a lot of people will raise their like daughters and gravitate them towards the predominantly feminine ideals of what they do. So we don't live.
Then why do, if that's the case, then why do they still adhere to those? Does that make any sense? Like even when little girls are offered the possibility of a contrary, like, hey, you don't have to have Barbies, you can get Nerf guns if you really want. And I knew girls growing up that got Nerf guns and went and played Nerf wars with all the boys. Mm-hmm. But why is there's a reason why,
well,
and I think that there's a biological reason why.
I feel like nowadays also, so like our generation, when we start having kids, I mean, it's going towards more of a median
ambiguity
level. Yeah. So it's just a matter of coming out of like the 50s where women were in the kitchen and women were not working and women only had secretarial jobs. But nowadays there's less and less of that. So there will still be those that do raise them that way, and you know, sometimes that's just the way people go. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Maybe a woman doesn't want to work. Maybe a woman does want to just kind of hang out and be like a housewife.
Yeah.
There are dudes that want to do that too. So it's not like a thing, but like there are, and it's like I'm very feminist in the way that like I feel like sometimes women are portrayed like a little less than they should, like in like movies and stuff. Like maybe there should be more strong female characters and influences. I definitely believe in that. And it's funny because I get all of this from Melissa because she was a super huge fucking feminist, and I got all of this from her, and now she's not as super huge as a feminist as I am. that motherfucker.
She backed out on me.
It's so fucking true. But like, whenever I write a movie, I try and make sure that all my female characters are very strong and they can handle themselves. Because I do believe there should be strong female role models. Don't give me your fucking head shake.
I agree that there should be. I don't believe that should be a more predominant thing.
It shouldn't. I mean,
I don't think that, because there's no focus on it, and there's no. When women are given strong roles, they're looked at as a sexual object. Does that make any sense? Like, you go and watch a spy flick with Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, strong woman, smart. She's
but they
the
also
hero,
play up the sex symbol.
and totally, and they do that with
everything. But I do appreciate movies where it's not always like that, where it is a strong female role model and it's not like a sex symbol thing. I mean, I did it with Streamy's Pavement. Stone is not played for sex. She's played for, like, she's one of the guys.
Yeah.
And not in a masculine, lesbian, butch kind of way, because she she fucking bangs Cheese. She flips him around and shoves her hand up his ass or something. Her gun. Let's say her gun.
No, not the whole hand.
Jenny was even written as a stronger character, but when we went and actually made the movie, she came off a little bit weaker. And me and Kelly have talked about this on a podcast where it kind of worked out better that way.
Yeah.
But I tried to make her a strong character. I mean, she fucking got off of her fucking dope situation in that movie, because that's how she met Cheese. But, like, there are not a lot of strong women out there in the world, and, like, there really need to be. Like,
there are a lot of strong women
there
out
are,
there.
but there are also ones that aren't, and that's what makes me sad. Is because
there's strong and weak men.
Well, I mean, it sucks. There needs to be a balance.
For me, I look at the fact that the situation with men is much more predominant than with women. We don't have any social identity. There's no, like, hey, you've grown up. Does that make any sense?
No.
There's no rite of passage. There's no...
For men?
For men.
But there is for women?
Yes.
What?
Your period.
So, puberty. We go through puberty, too.
But is there any physical sign? Is there anything that you have to deal with?
Our bodies grow. I mean,
but
there's no
point,
period.
But at what point, other than what law has established to, boom, you're an adult, when do we call a boy a man? Is it physical? No. Imagine pregnancy for women. That is a thing. That is a milestone. What's your next milestone?
Okay, let's
your prostate exam at 40.
What is the youngest a girl can? What is the youngest girl to have a baby? Age 5? Please don't tell me someone had a child at age 5. She gave birth by cesarean section at age 5.5. Holy shit. Her parents assumed that she had a tumor. Took her to the hospital, found out she was 7 months pregnant. Oh my god. So, someone can have a child before they have had their period.
Uh-huh.
They never identify the biological father.
Holy
this was
shit.
in 1939.
In Peru.
I mean, that's nuts, dude. 5 years old, 5.5. So that means she was pregnant at 4. A 4-year-old girl, dude.
Can have a baby.
Well, no, not only that, but someone had sex with a 4-year-old girl.
That's fucking horrible.
It is fucking horrible. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I hate society so much.
Yes. If there
this is why I'm a feminist.
Why? Why a feminist? Why a feminist based on the fact that you think that it's wrong for a 4-year-old little girl to experience that?
Okay. Maybe I spoke too soon with that. Okay, so that's obviously a different situation. Obviously, a 4-year-old girl doesn't know any better. I mean, I don't remember anything beyond the age of 5.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Totally.
That's fucked up.
But at what point does a boy
man.
become a man? What is that milestone? It used to be going out and getting married and working for your family, but that's not the social convention anymore.
Let's see what this is the youngest a boy can lift weights. Let's find out what the age of that is. Let's let that be the 8. So let's say 8 years old is when a boy becomes a man, because he can start lifting weights. I don't know, dude. You're right, though. Like a girl will hit puberty and she'll have her period. I guess she'll start being able to have a baby, but as we just read,
no. But when she does have a baby, then she's a woman. It's time to be a woman now.
Kind of forced into it, right?
Yeah. And for men, there's none of that. We just have to create this ideal way of behavior that we believe
it's
that
like imaginary.
Yeah, and for each man, it's different, and that's where you see, I think, the drastic differences in behavior.
What about like the first time you lose your virginity?
That doesn't make me a man.
No, you don't think that maybe that's
what
like
is a man?
No, pubic hair. No.
For me, I think that I don't know.
I don't know either. I think just puberty, dude. So like 13, I think doesn't necessarily make you a man, but like you're definitely on your way. Just like once you hit puberty for both boy and girl, you're well on your way to becoming an adult.
That's true.
They say you stop growing at 18, right?
22.
I heard 18, but that makes sense. Makes more sense because I felt that I kept growing after 18.
Yeah.
But they say 18. 18's that magic number year that they all picked out in their head. Really, 22?
22.
So yes, I would say puberty is a definite starting point going towards that. Obviously, yeah, girls get a period and they get pregnant and everything like that, and they're forced, to grow up. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, but I'm a super conservative, and I believe I believe in people not fucking with people's lives, and I hate when people do. I'm super against super for capital punishment.
Totally.
Like I feel if somebody kill somebody, of course there are gray areas if you accidentally kill somebody. Mm-hmm. Like there was I don't know, whatever, but like if you purposefully kill somebody, like in like a crime of passion, I guess.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before, but if you purposefully set out to kill somebody, I'm all for that person also getting killed in turn.
Yeah.
Hell, if somebody rapes somebody, I believe they should be killed too. That's just my opinion.
I agree. And for me, I don't think that it should be on the first. I think that we do need to offer people.
I know you believe in that fucking
ability
second
to chance. I believe that a second chance and no more than that. You fuck up a second time, hey gangbanger, if you come in here and you go back out and you go out and do that same shit, you don't get to go back out to there because we gave you everything that we possibly could have, every handout that we possibly could have.
I think it should just be right away. They did it. They fucked up. That'll prevent the next person from doing something like that. Of course, it doesn't always do that.
Oh, just have a major deterrent?
Yeah, just a huge major deterrent. And, fucking go live on TV and cut somebody's fucking head off for killing somebody. And it's like, this is what's going to happen, people.
Yeah, like shit just got real.
Yes. So if some dude goes and rapes some woman, cut their fucking balls and dick off. Take an iron, then shoot them back out in society. Do you want this to happen? We will cauterize your dick. And then maybe still cut off their head. I'm a big firm believer in capital punishment and people not doing bad things, because I don't want anything bad to happen to me. I don't want anything bad to happen to people I love.
Very true.
So, like, you know, you let this guy go that did something to someone I love, it gives them the chance to do something to somebody else's loved one, and so on and so forth. It's like, no. I don't mind if I'm the only person it happened to, just so that it doesn't happen to anyone else. Does that make sense?
Yes. I just think that people fuck up and people find themselves in fucked situations.
Desperate
and I think
situations.
And yes, and there are circumstances that you couldn't even fathom that come up in people's lives, and I think that we need to need to offer the hand, like, you're down in a hole, motherfucker. Because if you're doing any of those crimes, your life, your general life, is not in a good place.
Because it led to that.
Yes.
There were steps that led to you doing what you did wrong.
Yes. But being offered the opportunity, hey, we're going to show you the right way to go. And if you don't want to go that way, you want to go back down in there, we're just going to leave you there, and we're going to start throwing dirt on top of you. And we're just going to fucking leave you there.
I'm fine with that.
But if you feel like getting up and you know, because you have life experience showing you what kind of lifestyle leads to being back down in there, if you end up back down in there, you fucking stay in there.
Yeah.
You have one shot.
You dig your own grave, and if you can get out of it, that's fine. But if you find your way back into that grave, it's stay in your grave.
Yes.
We're filling it up.
Yes. And that's, for me, I am a big advocate for second chances.
At least 1 second chance, and then...
It is.
And then drop the hammer after that.
1. You fucked up. It would be like putting a fence up in the middle of the fucking desert. Okay. And people don't know about it. And the first person to hit your fence, you walked up and just fucking shot him.
So a property thing.
This is the boundary. These are the boundaries and the parameters in which all of people's within society need to live. You have a lot of freedom, a lot of room to move around. You can do a lot of different stuff. But if you walk outside those boundaries, I believe that there needs to be somebody at the fence to be like, hey. Or, hey, man, get back in here. You see this again, you don't ever be here again.
We're getting...
Ever.
Now we're getting into dictatorship territory or shit like that.
And it's not... I use that figuratively.
Right,
because
no,
I think that...
definitely. But if you think about it on scale, you know, that's like all those future movies where they do have... It's like a prison planet, and everything is all fucked. And
it's not a prison planet, and I think that...
I totally know what you're getting, but like... I get it. I totally get what you're saying.
And I think that it should be that way with a litany of crimes. Not just like, murder, rape, and, you know...
Those are the two big...
Yeah, those are the two big ones. But I'm thinking like drugs.
Drug use or drug sales or...
Kind of both.
Like, put those into the same thing?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you're selling drugs or you're using drugs. Now, think about this, Dakota.
I don't know. It has to be within reason. Like, you can't be like, this guy had, like, an ounce, or not even an ounce of weed, and, you know, and a pipe.
See, well, yeah. So using drugs is a totally different thing. But let's say selling drugs.
And it depends
now we're
on
getting
what.
into whole gray areas here that my mind is just like, okay, so now we've got to get into subcategories. Like, okay. But then it's like, if you're selling drugs, so it has to be like a minor offense. Like, if you're selling drugs to like a 13-year-old.
If you were going and... If you were going to do that, if you were going to reshape the prison system, you would have to reshape the laws. Because drugs that really aren't that bad, marijuana, I don't think cocaine's that bad. I would never do cocaine.
I don't know about that. I mean, I've
But not
never
like
done anything. I don't
crack
know what they
cocaine
do.
or
Heroin.
stuff like that, where like it is so overpoweringly addictive and corrosive that if people do it, they'll die, and people do it to the point that they're financially destitute and resort to crime.
Okay, so that's where the drug using comes in. Is like
If the
have a
drugs have a
life.
negative effect on the community, the consumption of marijuana has I know of no one who would go and rob somebody's house to go buy weed. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, because I know what you're talking about. Well, like the episode that you haven't watched yet, the very next episode of Breaking Bad. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit for you. So like, the Skinny Pete got robbed by the fucking crackhead whore and her boyfriend. So, in this very next episode, they've got a child at their crack house that they live in. It's not like a crack house, but they're crackheads. It's just their regular house, but it's all fucking messy and fucked up, no living conditions, and there's a little kid in there. And he's by himself, and they fucking come in screaming and yelling. They're all doped up. They're hiding the drugs in their assholes. And everything. It's like that's one of those situations where using drugs is just getting way the fuck out of hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super against drugs because I'm super conservative.
But I think that taking a realistic look at like, hey, that is no, this is yes, and I think updating that list, because realistically we haven't done it since Prohibition got overturned.
Well, I mean, marijuana is obviously working its way towards some kind of halfway legalization.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand a lot of people do it, and like a lot of people also do it for medical reasons.
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard for me to really understand everything that goes on with marijuana, but so that's why I'm like, let's stick to talking about heroin. Totally against heroin. It's a huge bad thing for people to do. Same with crystal meth, right? Crack. I don't know what else is out there. I would assume cocaine is a heavy drug. Don't people go crazy from cocaine?
If they do a whole fuck ton of it.
So isn't it super addictive in that sense too?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, no on cocaine. But yeah, I just think updating that list would be paramount in being able to... You have to make the law more reasonable to enforce the law more...
Reasonably?
more aggressively.
More aggressively, more properly?
Yeah, because if you keep... Going back to the boundary reference, if you keep the boundaries where they're at and they just make them more rigid, that's not cool. Because then it becomes everything that was a kind of a gray area, like speeding, becomes it's much more strict.
So what?
So
if
you have to move those, loosen those, and if you
maybe loosen some and tighten others.
Loosen some laws and tighten others.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, because we totally went in a very aggressive way towards, like, the death penalty, and if you kill somebody, if you rape somebody, capital punishment, don't wait forever until they die of old age on death row. Just do it. I mean, you've got the second chance stipulation on your what you would do.
Yeah.
Mine is just going right to it. So you would tighten those ones, but maybe loosen some of the other ones that might need a little bit more leeway to them.
Yes. I don't know.
I mean, there are so many fucking laws out there. Like you were talking about speeding,
but I
we didn't
think
even talk about,
I think like theft. I think thieves should be killed.
I like the idea of where if you steal something, they cut your hand off, like they do or used to do in foreign nations, foreign countries like India. I definitely agree with that. Like, let the punishment fit the crime. Eye for an eye. I'm a huge eye for an eye guy. And like, of course, this will come back on me somehow. Hypocrite! You killed somebody, now you don't want to die. You know what? I may have been a little little hasty in my feelings towards this situation.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm a new guy.
That was old Matt. New Matt says, live! You don't understand. There was a gray area. I was a victim of circumstance.
Circumcision.
Well, I mean, I guess we can call that this episode. We were going for $1.50.
Buck and a half.
And I thought we were ending on this, but we totally got into a good topic. So this was a
Fair
really
enough.
good episode.
Feel like it was.
Definitely. So I'm Matt Bonta.
I'm Dakota Kimes.
Stay classy, Reno.